What is happening, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy. We're here. We're talking about the WWE NXT February 10th, 2026 recap. It was a fun-filled NXT show, and we have a lot to talk about with the news and the results. We just got finished up with Raw, then we have SmackDown in Dallas. It's Friday, which I will be at, so I'm not going to have a recap or a video up for it. But again, this is the NXT show, and it started off with a bang. Vanity Project interrupts Joe Hendry's opening segment. Jackson Drake won that championship, which that turned into a Joe Hendry defeating Jackson Drake to retain the NXT Championship, which was later on the match card. So we're gonna kind of tie it together. But anyways, yeah, Jackson Drake won that championship, and he looked good in that match. But yeah, Joe Hendry came out on top, and then what happened after that? Ricky Saints came out and just a full-fledged went after Joe Hendry. But anyways, to start back at the beginning, Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe in a no contest. I mean, that was just went off the deep end. Jada Parker just went off on Blake Monroe. And then Eli Knight defeated Josh Briggs, WWE Speed Tournament match, and is headed to the finals. Yeah, so now we have Edel Lafleur versus Eli Knight next week. Winner faces Jasper Toy for the Speed Championship. I hate the Speed Championship so much. I hate it. I mean, give me your thoughts on the Speed Championship down below. I personally don't like it, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not a WWE writer. Like I continue to talk about. I'm not a writer. This is just my opinions and kind of what happened. But speaking of what happened, that Dana Boxy was amazing in that video. It was amazing in the video sequence. That was a banger of a promo. Yeah, we'll do Dana Boxy promo in the video sequence was amazing. Yeah, I thought that was a banger. Anyways, Kalani Jordan attacked Lola Vice's hand again. They're still facing on that week. Lola Vice says, I don't care, broken hand or not, I want my revenge on Kalani Jordan. Um, and we also had Keanu Carver basically just throw everybody off the deep end and just went ballistic. I mean, he's gonna be an all-time heel now in the NXT. He destroyed a whole bunch of people at backstage. Speaking of mass chaos, Tony Angelo takes out Darth State after a mass chaos with the NXT tag teams, which that turned into first it was a triple threat between Hank and Tank, the OTM, and the Culling, which winner gets a title shot in Atlanta. Then that turned into the Vanity Project defeating Hank and Tank, which Robert Stone added that to be a fatal four-way now. So you're adding the Vanity Project into the mix, which they deserve. They beat Hank and Tank in a very surprising way. I didn't expect that. But hey, they're trying to rocket them up, but go ahead. That's gonna be a banger of a match, I think. The Fatal Four Way. Um, yeah, Ricky Sayes takes out Joe Hendry, and then we had the Friday the 13th, Shiloh, versus Ethan Page, yeah, for the next Team North American Championship. That's set for next week. Yeah, that's set for next week. Tony D'Angelo versus Cutler James next week. Tony D'Angelo's goal is to take out Dark State, and then you had the finals match, the final, or sorry, not the finals, the final match of the night: Zaruka versus Ring QCC in a women's tag team match. The catch was that the woman who scores the pinfall will be the number one contender for the women's NXT Championship, and guess who it was? It was Sol Ruka. It was good. It was close between Sol Ruka and Zarya. I mean, they both were ready for the pin, and then Sol Ruka got the pin live by a smidge. Um, with the unintentional tag by Zarya, which I mean that feud's gonna blow up. I think it's gonna blow up in the number one. I think it's gonna blow up in the NXT Championship match. I think Zarya is gonna get her revenge in that match, which I could be wrong. Who knows? Again, this is just my opinion. But in the recap, anyways, I thought it was a good show overall. I can't wait to go to SmackDown though. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in to this WWE NXT February 10th recap. Always a great set of wrestling, everybody. Have a good one.